Hi there, Amy with Firefly Retail Consulting. Today I am introducing the first video in my 5 video series on quick start tips that you can do right now to get yourself in a great position for 2018. I want you to start 2018 off with a bang, okay? So the first thing that I'm going to talk about today is something that I see retailers struggle with a lot, and that's team leadership. How do you effectively lead your team? How do you draw from them their best work? All right. A lot of retailers had a previous life. They did something else before they owned their retail store. A lot of nurses out there, a lot of people even who maybe had a corporate job and were even in a position of leadership. Okay. But it's a totally different ballgame when it's yours. Okay. This is your business, your store, your baby. It makes it a whole lot different when you're trying to lead your team. Okay. So I want to break this down into really 4 steps. There's 4 steps that can take this thing that seems really difficult and feels really big and make it into something that's not that scary, and it's really not that difficult. So the very first step that you need to do here is to know what your expectation is for a particular behavior. Okay, set your bar. And for this first step, I'm not even talking about setting it with your team. I'm talking about setting it with yourself. So many times I talk to retailers and they don't know what their expectation is for their team for a certain behavior. And if you don't know, then there's no way that you can expect your team to know what that is. So going down through these 4 steps, I'm going to use the example of cleaning the bathroom, because it's something that here in the US is the bar for that is generally set way down here. Let's face it, public restrooms are not super clean. So if you can make yours awesome, that's actually a really good thing. I pay attention to bathrooms all the time in public places. And it tells me a lot about how much a store owner or a restaurant owner or a business owner in general cares about their business, how clean their bathroom is. So if you want your bathroom, if you want to set your bar at eat off the floor kind of clean, that's totally acceptable. But you need to know that that's your expectation, and that every time you walk into your bathroom in your store, that's what it's going to be like. Okay, so that's step 1. Step 2 then is communicating that effectively to your team. Okay, and this isn't, there's no feeling bad about, or you're not in a position for being in a position for asking them to do this, eat off the floor kind of clean. It's not. It's part of their job. It reflects back on them. People know when they come into the store and they see them that they're the ones that are probably responsible for cleaning that bathroom. And if they're not doing a good job there, then that's a reflection on them. And when you're communicating this to your team, it's really important to tie that why to it. And it can't be, like when you say to your 2-year-old, because I said so. That's not a good enough reason. They need to understand for each behavior that you want, what is that why? Why are you asking them to do this thing that might seem, a little hard or unreasonable to them just as a matter of course? But if you explain to them that, no, this is a reflection of them, this is a reflection of the business, and it's really important for our customers to see that we care this much, that we're making our bathroom this clean for them. Okay, so that's number 2, making sure that you communicate clearly and in a detailed way exactly what you expect that behavior to look like, what the end result of that will be. Okay. And then the third part of this is you need to tell them exactly how to get there. You need to make sure that they have all the tools that they need to get to this expectation. So for our bathroom example, that's going to be making sure that they have all of the physical tools that they need to do that. There better always be toilet bowl cleaner in your bathroom. If you want them to scrub around the drain in the sink with a toothbrush, then there better always be a toothbrush in that bathroom, right? Again, these aren't unreasonable expectations. They just need to know what they are. Okay. And then the second part of that then would be to make sure that they also have the mental tools with that, the training. Okay, they need to know exactly how to to do each step of the process. And you have to be really detailed so that they know exactly what that looks like. Okay. And then the fourth step in all of this is going to be to evaluate how they're doing. If they're doing a great job, if they're meeting that bar, then you want that to be, you want to tell them, make sure that you're giving them that positive feedback. If the bar's here and they're down here, then you also need to make sure that you're coaching them through that behavior and helping them to reach the bar, to raise their performance up to your expectation. Okay. So just very quickly to review, we have 4 steps to being a great team leader. And that is, make sure that you're setting the expectation with yourself, know what you want to have happen. 2, communicate that with your team. Very important to communicate it clearly and in a very detailed way. Make sure that they have all the tools that they need to achieve that goal. Okay, super important that they have all the tools, both physically and mentally in the training aspect. Okay, and then the 4th thing is just to evaluate and make sure that they're always meeting that expectation, giving them positive feedback if they are. If they aren't, then you're coaching them to the point where they are hitting that expectation and making that all the time. Okay, so that's really it. That's team leadership in a nutshell. It really doesn't have to be as stressful and difficult as I think that we as store owners really make it at times. Okay. So please leave your feedback in the comments below. If you have any questions or you want to talk more about it, please just leave a comment below. And then also join me tomorrow where I'm going to talk about how you can, right now, with stuff you already have in your store, end 2017 with a bang so that you have this huge momentum going into 2018. Okay. And then, until tomorrow, just remember that you control your retail destiny. You do. And you can do this. Okay? I'll see you tomorrow.